Yep, we're back here. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Ronayoki coming at y'all with another video. Yo, okay. Listen. Hear me out. I was gonna make a video, and then I folded like I always do. But hey, we ain't gonna talk about that. Today we are here to talk about something very serious: the state of ASBR. So today, at the time that I'm making this video, we just had the reveal that Diego, Alternate World Diego, is going to be our last DLC character for this fighter pass. So I just want to kind of go over everything that's happened in ASBR. So let's get straight into it. So it all started at the beginning. And you know me, I'm not a really good fighting game player. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at like Injustice 2, and that's about it. Well, I'm good at ASB now, but Injustice 2 was really the only fighting game I had ever played, and I really never had any issues. And so when we finally get word that we're getting a brand new JoJo game, which was capped because all they did was remaster All-Star Battle, but we were told we were getting a new JoJo game, so everybody started getting hyped. But there was one big question: what was going on with rollback? And we didn't get this answer for a very, very decent amount of time. So at the beginning, we had all these commercials and promotions for the game, and it was also gonna be like dropping with the anime, if I remember correctly. And so we'd finally gotten our answer to rollback. And they said there were no plans to implement rollback at the time. And so, me not being a fighting game player, I didn't understand what rollback was or how important it was. Especially because I went through the All-Star Battle R demo. I went through the little test phase, and I had no issues with connections whatsoever. So I was like, man, these people are capping. Rollback can't be that important. Oh boy, how wrong I was. So this game literally almost died immediately. And my guy Jetta, me and him were talking, and I was like, I don't think rollback's really gonna affect the game that much. And he was like, well, you're not a fighting game person, so like, you don't understand. And I was like, well, I went through the test phase, you know what I'm saying? I went through the test phase, so I don't have any problems with my connection then, so there's not gonna be a problem when the actual game comes out. And like I said, I was terribly wrong. Jetta was telling me the entire time, this game is dying. And so the game drops. We're about 2 weeks in, and I'm still finding matches on like PlayStation. But my boy Jetta, he drops in with a stream, and he's having problems finding one match. And so I'm just sitting over here like, is the game really that dead? You know, because for PlayStation, I want to say it was alive until about the time, like right before Kaicho dropped. Because the game was still kind of popping when Stroheim dropped. But right before Kaicho dropped, that's when I stopped finding lobbies on PlayStation. And I was like, okay, dang. Rollback really is like that important. And I kind of understood now why this game died like immediately. Another thing I want to talk about is the new content that we got. So we got a bunch of new characters. Obviously, we got people like Mariah, Pet Shop. Dear God, I don't know why they brought Bro into the game, but we got a lot of new characters. But they weren't really new because it really just was Eyes of Heaven ports, and they were all characters that like we had already seen before. You know what I'm saying? Except for Foo Fighter. She was a brand new character, and Insanity, how she got in the game before Weather Report, but we're not going to talk about that yet. but it was a brand new character, and everybody was chill. I mean, Ghiaccio was there too, and Prosciutto and Pesci. All good options. And so there were a few characters that were missing. And it's like, it would have been very easy to just throw them in. But instead, they went somewhere else and they just weren't in the game for some reason. But we'll get into that later. We're going to get into this withheld content. So, at the time, the anime for Stone Ocean had not dropped yet. And so, because of that, they completely removed a stage. They removed the original ASB Pucci. And they removed all of the alternate universe outfits. And so when I heard all this was happening, I was like, are we serious? We're just taking out content now? And so what they said is that they wanted to avoid spoilers, but we already have the biggest spoiler in like part 7, and that's not going to be animated for who knows how long. Because if you're playing Johnny and you fight Valentine, all you do is land your super, they're getting spoiled. It's over. And not to mention, in this trailer that they dropped today, one, it spoils that there is another Diego. That's already bad enough. But then they had the audacity to say some crap. I don't remember exactly what it said, but it said something like, "Don't lose your head" or something. And if you know, you know. And so I was just sitting over here like, dang, we don't want to spoil anybody, but what is this? Literally, you put a spoiler in the tweet on top of spoiling that there's another Diego. Like, there are some people who already didn't know that Diego Brando was a thing, but now there's people that know Diego Brando is a thing, and then alternate Diego Brando with the world is a thing. Which is honestly one of the biggest spoilers of part 7, and it's just like, for what purpose? But all of that aside, with no rollback, the game dying almost immediately, and them taking away content from us, the worst thing, well, other than no rollback, the worst thing, in my opinion, is the DLC. For me, there's only one character in the DLC that actually felt like DLC, and it's Kaicho Nijimura. And my reasoning for this is because it was so out of left field. It was just like, dang, this dude really got in the game. He only existed for like 2 episodes and got folded. We had DLC 1, Metallica. While this is a completely brand new and original character, which is a W, it didn't make any sense for him not to be in the base game if Ghiaccio and Pesci and Prosciutto are there. It didn't make any sense at all. So I was just sitting over here like, Metallica, Risotto is cool, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it didn't make any sense to have his subordinates in and not him. Then DLC 2. We had actually no. I think DLC 2 ended up being the free DLC with Weather Report and Pucci. Weather Report should have been in day 1. OG Pucci should have never gotten erased. If y'all wanted to separate the two Puccis like Eyes of Heaven did, that's fine. But you should have kept the original Pucci in the game. And they can't say it's to not spoil anime onlys, because that reasoning makes no sense. Because if you don't know who the characters are, you could simply just not play them. Stay away from online, yada yada, do all that. Weather Report definitely should have been in since day 1, especially because the Spoiler, the heavy weather was literally his level 1. It was nothing special. It was literally nothing special. It turned you into a snail. Most people would have just been like, what the? And they would have kept it pushing. The only one that's kind of really a big spoiler is Made in Heaven. But let's be honest, if somebody gets heaven on you, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You're just bad at the game. You're just bad at the game. No, but jokes aside, they should have also been in the base game. Then we had the actual DLC 2, Stroheim. Now, Stroheim, another Eyes of Heaven character that could have easily been added at the release of the game. And it's another situation of like, I just don't understand why he wasn't in it. We got Cars, we got Wamu, we got AC/DC, the main Pillarman. We've got Joseph, main Jojo. We've got Caesar, Jobro. We even got Lisa. And I think we only saw her fight like twice. And she got bodied the second time by Cars. And so my question is, if we were just gonna reuse the same model from Eyes of Heaven, reskin the same moves from Eyes of Heaven, reskin the same suicide attack from Eyes of Heaven, what was the point of him not being there in release? Then DLC 3, the only one that I feel like is real DLC, Kaicho. Like I said, bro came so out of left field. It was insanity. I was like, who was asking for Kaicho? But at the same time, I was like, it's such a surprise that they chose him over other characters. But he was so different, he was so unique that he actually feels like DLC. And then, today, they dropped this.
The World!
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
And like, I don't even know what to say. And like, leaks already told us that alternate Diego was going to be the last character. So like, we already knew, but it's so different actually seeing alternate Diego be in the game, because it's like, wow, another character that could have been in since release. And it's honestly such a weak pick, and it's crazy that a guest character has the same representation as an entire part. Because Jojolian just got completely forgotten when this game even updated. Even in the quote unquote Jojolian trailer, Gappy was on the screen for 5 seconds and then it cut off. He was gone. He was gone the rest of the trailer. He was gone. And so it's just like, it's crazy how we're so worried about spoilers and stuff. But you literally just put the biggest spoiler, one of the biggest spoilers of Part 7 in the game. And then spoiled what happens to him in your post. It's insanity. Because now we have all of these DLC slots filled up with characters that could have easily been in day one. And we could have had a completely different DLC season pass. This is the worst DLC I think I've ever seen for a game. Ever. This is the worst DLC I think I've ever seen. These are some crazy picks. But there's a chance. Look, I'm gonna love ASBR. I played a game for fun. You know what I'm saying? I play it for fun. I use it as a party game with my friends. I played a game for fun, but it's crazy that like we didn't even get the updated moveset for Gappy. He still has his entire moveset that is based off of his first fight. You know how much stuff Gappy's done since then? But there's hope. because they want us to tune in for more information on 6-11. And now, for the people that think it's going to be rollback, go ahead and throw that thought out the motherfucking window, because that is not what's going to happen at all. We are not getting no fucking rollback. So go ahead and cut that shit out your mind. But what I'm thinking, Fighter Pass 2. And while obviously Fighter Pass 2 is not going to save the game, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to save the game. It'll be enough if they add the right characters to satisfy me and make this game something I'm still playing years later with my friends. Because Tooru not making it in the game is so much fucking shit. Also, that comment, I'm coming for you in the next video.